Good morning. Friday, December 10th. First market update of December. Got some really good data coming in from some market stats, including some of the stuff Megan Aller shared with us today. I'm going to start out with quote of the day, then I'm going to give you a little bit of market update from Megan Aller's update today, which is the first one in a month. So we got a lot of good data there. And then I want to talk about urgency in the market and what it means to be competitive. I did a little bit of this last week, but it's become even more apparent to me talking with some other agents and struggling to get things under contract and some of the success that I've been able to have with a couple of buyers here in the last couple of weeks. So starting off with the quote of today, Bendejo's Minute to Win It, first one of December, says, "To hell with circumstances, I create opportunities." That's the one and only Bruce Lee. Basically talking about, hey man, you can either talk about circumstances and what it is and make excuses, or you can make opportunities. And I feel like the same thing applies when we're competing in the market as buyer agents. And so I'll lead more into that with the urgency piece coming up. First, I want to talk a little bit about the market update. We've had 16% year over year appreciation from this time last year, according to the stats, which is insane, right? And we all say we want that to slow down, we want that to cool off a little bit, because even as sellers, I guess that's a great thing, you know, but for the rest of us who are sellers and buyers agents, it's just like, how do you stay competitive? And that's where that urgency piece is going to come in, and aligning yourself with the right team that you're operating with out there when you're writing offers and doing this thing in this market. So how about a bubble? Any of you out there think about a bubble? So many of you talk about bubbles. Oh, what about the bubble? What about the crash? Well, what's going to cause the crash, right? I mean, you tell me. Usually takes two things, right, for a bubble: economic hardship and lack of equity. Those are two things that helped with the 2008 crash. Lack of equity, everybody upside down with all the subprime mortgages, and then economic hardship. I'm just not seeing economic hardship right now, and nobody's forecasting that. So there's no bubble, guys. Not coming up anytime soon. I heard some smart statisticians talking a couple months ago about maybe something in late 2024, middle 2024. But if you're looking to plan out, as a number of my new first-time home buyers have, sat down with a couple of them the last couple of weeks, and we talked about, hey Ben, should we wait until January? That's what we're thinking. We got a whole bunch of stuff coming on for the holidays. Or should we start looking now? And I'll tell you right now that looking at the data, it showed that we were down 50% the week of Thanksgiving as far as showings go, from 8 to 4. What does that tell you? That tells you that just like my good friends Sarah and Andrew, they were able to get under contract, not necessarily Thanksgiving weekend, but leading up right to it. We still had multiple offer situations, and when it came down to it, like I shared last week, it came down to my ability to get information from the listing agent to express how well we did with communication, and then the last thing that it came down to was the lender's ability to close on December 23rd. We went under contract this Monday on that house. Inspection yesterday, appraisals happening today. If you don't have a lender and a real estate team that can get you under contract, an inspection within a couple of days, and an appraisal happening the same week in order to close on the 23rd to make sellers happy and get your offer pushed into first position, then you should be considering who you're lining yourself up with and who your team is. So back to that part about the market and what's coming up. 15 days from now, 14 days from now, Christmas. I'll be in town. You guys want to get out and look at homes? I got 2 first-time home buyers that are getting pre-approved right now. I'll be here for them. Today is the first day of snow here in Lakewood. Crazy to wake up to that. Crazy that it's December 10th and not September, waking up to the first real snow. But here we are. I got friends Charlie and Brandy that are in town this week for snowboarding. Maybe we'll hit the slopes. Don't know what's going on out there. I haven't even put my skins on and skinned uphill because there just hasn't been anything out there. I was out last weekend in the mountains, or the week before that, and there was bone dry. Bone dry. So hey, let's hear it for more snow. We need it more. And guess what? If this snow shortage and precipitation shortage continues, then the spring market's going to turn on even sooner. So if you're looking to find a deal, full price or a little bit more on a house, Christmas week is going to be it. If Thanksgiving was any indicator, we had half the people out there, and it'll probably be less than half the people out there for the Christmas week out there looking at houses. So for those sellers that need to sell and are putting them on the market, get yourself out there and be less competitive with other buyers who are waiting until January to get out there. Let's see, what other data do I want to share here? There's 11 median days on market Thanksgiving week, and we're back to 5 median days on market this past week. So that tells you during Thanksgiving, during Christmas, during New Year, we're going to have twice as many days on market that houses are sitting. That means sellers are going to be eager to take an offer and expecting multiple offers, but then not getting as many multiple offers as they want it to be. So get out there, get competitive with those early closing dates, and negotiate with those sellers. Just want to talk one thing a little about urgency again. I can't say it more. I was a buyer's agent for a client who didn't have a lot of motivation to get under contract. They were looking for a deal, and this was a number of years ago. And I remember submitting the offer and calling the agent. As I always do, it's actually in that reverse order. I call the agent. As soon as I hear them get on the phone, that's when I hit send so that I can say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Agent, just send an offer to your email. It's in your inbox, and here's the highlights of it. So I not only throw the highlights into the email body, it's in the offer, but I communicate that over the phone so that we can talk about what those things mean. So I went through the offer and talked about price, and I talked about the closing dates and how strong actually my buyer was financially, incredibly strong. Could have bought this house with cash, but decided to finance it. The agent said, Ben, where's the urgency? And I said, what do you mean? He goes, exactly. I said, oh, damn it. That was my lesson. That was a few years ago. And since then, it's all I talk about. With my first-time home buyers, if you're one of those and you've heard me talk about it recently, I talk about that word urgency. And as a listing agent, that's exactly what I'm looking for when I'm looking for multiple offers. Zach, Jenny, any of my sellers hear me talk about that. Hey, Ben, which offer should we take? Well, let's talk about urgency, guys. Who came in first, heavy, highest and best, versus who was talking about, well, it's Friday, we're thinking about submitting, we'll probably wait till Sunday. Hey, Ben, give me a call. Let me know how we can be more competitive, right? What does that tell you? That tells you that the buyer's looking for a deal. It tells you that they're not quite bought into that house yet. It tells you that they're just going to wait and see. Maybe it's their second best, right? If a buyer isn't showing urgency, if a buyer sees a house on Friday, doesn't write an offer on Friday night, then my question is, where's the urgency? Why don't they love this house? Are they going to get to closing, or are they just going to get to inspection after waiving it and say, oh man, I paid too much for this house? Urgency is the number one thing in this game. And just like Megan and Nicole Ruth said this morning on their presentation, if your buyers are out there not quite committed to this market, then you're wasting your time. And it's not just real estate agents trying to save their time that's valuable. It's buyers too. Why would you wait around and try and kind of compete in this market that you know what the standards are and what it takes to win an offer? So either love a house, lay it all down on the line, take advice of your realtor as to what information they're getting and how far over asking price it's going to take to get these things. And by the way, it's about 7% right now for the average price. Median price in Denver zip codes is about 7% over. So if you're selling a house for $500,000, that's an average of $35,000 over asking price that those things are going under contract and selling for. All right. That's it for Friday. Hope some of you are hitting the slopes. It sounds like a number of people are. Not that they're going to be amazing conditions, but get out there, have a good time, go snowshoeing, do something outside. We'll talk to you soon. Stay warm, stay safe. Peace out.